welcome back everybody. Friday afternoon, skipped off work a wee bit early, but to be honest I was so busy I didn't get away to the hills I was hoping to do. So I've just gone for a fairly local camp on the Ayrshire coast, I hope. No idea what to expect here actually. I've seen a couple of vloggers showing some film and some camp areas, so I'm just going to explore, see what I can find further along the coast here, and hopefully get a nice wee spot for the night. 18 degrees, really nice actually. Not quite as windy as I was hoping it would be, because I was hoping it would keep the midges away. But yeah, not bad. You can see across to Arran, into the Holy Island over there. And I'm just hoping I can find a quiet enough spot for a campsite. But yeah, it's a cracking day and it's meant to be a really nice weekend. It's 5 o'clock in the evening and it looks like it's pretty much at high tide, I think. Should have probably checked before I came out. So that'll probably start to turn around and go out tonight once I get camped up. Possible wee spot down there, but I think what we'll do is we'll go further along the coast and just explore. I presume that's a marker for the route. We'll go up there and we'll head along this headland and see what else there is. Yeah, this could be nice as well. Another wee bay here which could be quite nice if I got myself down by the stones. I can find somewhere flat. Some big hefty cattle ahead. Don't want to be too close to them. That gives me the heebie-jeebies. I think it's time to head down the shore actually and see if I can get along here. That headland up there looks nice and exposed as well for a bit of breeze and a nice view north-south, just in case there's any northern lights tonight. Right, I've scrambled down back onto the shore. Looks like there might be a spot over here. We'll go and check that one out. That's a maybe. Bit rough and ready over there, I think. Contemplate my options. Right, we're into the next bay as I head north here. I was thinking maybe over there, wherever that white, I think it's the remains of a boat. That could be quite a nice spot over there, as long as I'm not in the way of the cattle. Because that does. Yeah, I'm quite liking this. Bit more of a west coast islandy feel about it. Look at that big log there, perfect seat as well. I could just find a spot. Let's go over to the grass. Right, I think this is bay number 6 or 5 or 6 roughly. Nice little bay, but I don't really see an ideal camp spot. Unless I was to bung myself down in here, I'll just go and check. Right, I think it's here or nothing. Either right in front of me here on the screen, or maybe that wee left hand area there. What do you think? It's good enough to me, and it's still breezy, which is all good news. So that's it, tent's up. Vango F10 NEXUS I'm using tonight. 2-person or a solo really, because it's about 1.8 kilos roughly, so it's fine for solo use, and obviously pretty luxurious at that. But yeah, it pitches nicely, pitches nice and taut. Had a wee bit of a problem just getting the tension right on the crossing pole. Don't know why, but anyway, sorted. It is really quite simple to put up. 2 poles, minimal guys, 4 of them I think. I'll show you around the back here. This end I think really should go into the wind, but to be honest the wind is coming in this door, but I don't mind that. Keep the midges and the bugs away, and a nice sea view, and I've got this other door to use for shelter. Let's get the stuff out the pack and get settled in for the evening. There's actually still quite a lot of sand inside it from when Jan and I used it a couple of weekends ago, but it's fine. I'm not putting the sleeping bag out yet just in case of ticks or whatever. I'll just leave it sealed up. As you can see, lots and lots of room. I've got both doors open just to get a nice through flow of breeze. I'm using the Light Tour mat tonight, which is still very warm but slightly thinner than the other ones, but I do find I get one of the best sleeps on it. I just like the dimple pattern, it seems to work quite well. and I'll just sort out my cooking gear in a second. Just using the old Soto Windmaster as usual tonight. I just hope I brought the sparker, it's flint. Ah yep, thank God for that. And I've got a couple of gases left, which I'm just going to exhaust. But nothing, no culinary delights tonight, I'm afraid. It's all simple, last minute stuff out of the Tesco's. I also brought a wee Amazon fishing rod, in case I fancy a bit of fishing tonight. If I get bored, I'll give it a go. I don't think I've ever caught anything on this. But I don't know what it was, 14 quid or something on Amazon. And it's packed really small, telescopic obviously, little reel, and all the bait lures and just all the spares, basically. I'll just chill out for a few minutes before we think about dinner. Should have told my wife where I was staying. I'm impressed with the stability of the Nexus. I have to say, having used this for a second time in a lot more breezy conditions, yeah, just for two poles, it's a very strong structure. It actually reminds me a lot of the MSRX S2 that I used to have, and that's an expensive tent these days. And this was £240. But for two poles, it's actually surprisingly stable. I've been watching it in this breeze. It's between about 18 to 27 mile an hour, it says on forecast. I would say there's the odd gust in the 20s, but not much. But it's not shifting, and I don't have the internal guy line set up or anything. And I'm really impressed with the end walls and the way the triangulated end walls work, and the wee sharp corners on the poles. Just keep it very, very rigid, so it doesn't shift. It's quiet in here as well. Yeah, I'm quite impressed with this. And by the way, I bought this with more money. I'm not sponsored by them, before you ask. But yeah, for £240, I'm pretty impressed. I think you probably wouldn't get it for that now. I believe they're back to about 300, but Tissot's or Taizo's had a deal on it. Anyway, I'm going to get some dinner on now, which is a king pot noodle. I know it's a bit sad. I don't know if you saw the sad news this week about the people that were killed in Glencoe, father and son. Apparently he was quite experienced as well. It's just sad to see that, sad to hear it, because the kid I think was only about 12 years old. I've got a cheeky wee red in my smart water bottle. Can't actually remember what brand it was, but it's actually very tasty, it's fruity. Right, despite the low gas, I think we've got a boil on now, that's good. Took a bit of time, but the Soto Windmaster's quite good with its little regulator, even on very low gas. It will keep ticking over and it will get there eventually. Just got a wee bit chilly there, so I've stuck my duvet on. It's still windy though, which is good, so there's been no bugs. I haven't had to put any smidge on yet. Brilliant. Aaron's looking really nice now with the sun beginning to set on it and the colours. Well, I've ended up a wee bit closer to civilization than I'd hoped for. So there was a few visitors early on. I counted about 6 or 7 different people walking through, but I seem to be on my own now. But it's a cracking night and it's still windy, so no bugs, amazing. Aaron's looking brilliant, and I think we've got about, I don't know, 45 minutes till sunset. But yeah, it's been lovely. It's been really relaxing. It would have been nice to be up the mountains, but I just didn't have the time. So maybe the next time round. But anyway, I hope you're enjoying some of the views. I'm certainly enjoying the sea views for sure. I'm just wondering what the chances are of getting the Northern Lights tonight. I'll check my wee app just in case, because I think it's a bit hazy, but it's not bad, and I've got a really good view north, which would just be great to see them for a change. Every time I make a video, I miss them by 24 hours. So it'd be nice for once to get to see them and hopefully get them on film. I think the last time was with Ray Smith. Where were we? Above Pitlochry, and they were still pretty distant, but it was nice. And that's only the second time I've ever seen them, but some of those social media shots that came up about a week or two ago were just incredible. I'd love to see that. Anyway, we'll go back and get a wee cup of coffee on, I think now. It's getting a lot colder. So where I've actually pitched up, I'm actually really close back towards Danua, and where I parked, I'm probably only 10-15 minutes. So the only thing with that is there's a bit of junk here and there, and there's quite a lot of flotsam and stuff lying about. So I'll try and tidy up some of it tomorrow and see if I can bag anything and take it out with me. That's the only disadvantage of being so close. Obviously in the height of summer, I think people come here and probably have a drink or whatever. I would have liked to have gone further along the coast, but I just couldn't find a decent spot. This was probably one of the nicest ones, and I can see why people use it. It's nice having the two doors as well. I've closed the one on this side because the wind is still coming in at a fair old pace, and it just allows me to cook under cover. So two doors is great, and with Jan was it last week, 2 weeks ago I think, we were Tinnabruch away, and being able to just get in and out independently and store your gear either side was really good. But what I like about this is that being able to pitch it together. You need to do a couple of wee mods just to make the inner attach to the outer at the bottom rather than loop it over the pegs, which speeds things up as well, but that's easy done without any extra fitments. It was a 5-minute job. So yeah, we'll see how this goes tonight. Hopefully the wind will stay up. I'd like to see, just get it tested in a bit of a higher wind, but I'll probably need to take up a hill for that. Ah well, the sunset is not to be. I just got really hazy over the islands, and I've kind of lost out in it. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to retire to the tent now, edit this video, and maybe just catch up on some TV and some radio and get a wee brew on. But yeah, I don't think it's going to get any better than that. That's a shame. I was hoping to get you a nice sunset tonight. I don't know if you'll be able to catch them on camera, but there's bats flying around. I think you'll see them shoot by soon. I think they're bats. They look very, yeah, they are. They're tiny and they're very, very quick. The main purpose really for coming out was just to test the tent. I'll give you my thoughts in the morning about it when I pack up. But yeah, it's been quite comfortable in here. It's quite noisy with the sea, quite a racket, but at least nobody's been by. It's now very quiet. It's been light for ages, so it's been difficult to even think about sleeping, even though it is 10:30. So I'll probably just muck around for about another half an hour or so, and then hopefully I'll be tired enough to nod off. I imagine if the sun's up again tomorrow, which I think it's due, it'll be bright really early, so it'll be a bright and early start. But yeah, having a two-person tent and just yourself in it it's really roomy. I think partly because of the width in this one. It's 130 centimetres wide, so it gives you tons of space, and the head height I find quite bearable, even though it's a relatively low profile wind shedding design. So anyway, I'll say goodnight to you just now, and I'll catch you guys in the morning. Cheers. Well, it's certainly a nice spot to have your breakfast. Still quite quiet. I'm up quite early actually, well, early for me, 7 o'clock. Just kind of worried about people coming through on this trail. Just thought it might get busy, so I'm going to head down the road shortly after I've had a wee coffee and a porridge. And then we'll make the best of the day because it's looking like another cracker. Going to head back and see what Jan wants to do. Yeah, so I slept all right until about 3 in the morning. I woke up just really wide awake, went back on my phone, nipped out for a pee, and it was fine. It was actually relatively dark at that point. And slept all right. Yeah, it was good. The mat's very comfy. The tent was great. Maybe a bit too windy here for the lack of gas I've got. I think I might have to sit this down somewhere more sheltered.
Well, I'd say that's both canisters of gas totally gone now. I can throw them in the bin when I get back. I just managed to get a boil out of about 500 mils here. We'll just guess. Let's see about there. A brew with a view. Nice. Arran's quite clear this morning. You can see the Holy Isle and the lighthouse at the end of it, and then one of the villages on the east coast. But yeah, it's very nice, very peaceful this morning. The breeze has just got up again as the sun came over the hill, so it's removed all the midges. When I came out of the tent, the midges were just a wee bit full on, right at the doors, but some smidgy sorted that, and now the breeze is up, it's all good. Before I go, I thought I'd just give you my initial impressions. Second night in the Vango F10 NEXUS UL2, bit of a mouthful. And I think it's been brilliant, actually, I have to say. It makes a really good solo tent because it still packs nice and small. It's under my 2 kilogram limit. I think it's about 1.7 or 1.8, so that's quite good. But it's a big amount of space for the weight. And for whatever reason, this 2-pole system, although it's only 2 poles, it actually seems to give it a lot of strength. It pitches really tight, so it was very quiet last night. And although the wind was coming into the doors, and during the night it got quite windy, I could hear it howling. There was very little movement, just a tiny little bit of wobbling in there, and that's before I used the internal guys. Had it been end on, it would have been even more solid. But yeah, 130 centimetres wide is excellent space for 2 even. So as you know, for me and Jan, it's just as good. It still gives us plenty of room. Yes, the vestibules are a bit small, but you can detach them and then pull the inner in and still cook inside. Cross ventilation was really good, so there's no condensation inside this despite being by the sea, although it was breezy. And there's nothing really annoys me about it now that I've tweaked it. It was just the inner elastics. I needed to shorten them to bring the inner up and tauten it up a wee bit, especially at the pockets, which tend to sag at those ends. But now that I've tightened the top elastics where the pole is, about here, that got a lot better. So the pockets are fine. What else is there to say about it? It's a really nice combination of size, weight, and cost. I looked last night again just to check. Although I got this at £240, you can get it just now at £269, which is still excellent value for money. Reminds me a lot of the Access series, the MSR. But the problem with the MSR is it's inner first pitch, so you've got to do 2 stages to get the thing up, and you risk it getting wet. You don't get that with the Vango. And also, I really do believe it, I've yet to test it, but these end pieces with the curved poles and the triangulated guys, I think will be stronger than an MSR Access, which tends to fold, the carbon poles fold at the hubs when the wind gets too high. So, and I don't think you'll have that problem in this at all. So yeah, nothing much else to say. I hope it's helped you if you're looking at it. I think it's a really good buy, I have to say. I'm going to hang on to it and I'll continue to use it through the summer and into the autumn. And I don't see why we can't use it in the winter as well. So I'm going to get packed up. Thank you again for watching, everybody. If you like the channel, please give me a wee like or a subscribe if you haven't subscribed before. There must be 300 odd videos out there you can watch. I'm going to head back to the car and make good use of the rest of the day. Thank you for watching and see you soon.